Hey everybody, it's Mike Sherwood and welcome to the Don't Waste Your Life YouTube channel, where our goal is to remind you to be present, to be happy, and to be thankful. If you're not a subscriber, it would be great for you to subscribe to our channel. We'll have new content each week where we'll share different tips and different tricks about how to optimize your life. So the goal of this video this week will be around two topics. One will be to go through what this channel will cover, like what are some of the various topics we'll walk through. And number two, I will talk a little bit more about my experience and why I feel I'm qualified to share this material with you. So with that, I want to go through first what this channel will be about. The goal for this channel is to share productivity tips, human maximization, and also to share, book reviews, and to share different podcasts. In the future, I plan to interview other people out there to try to understand what makes them successful and why, and how they came to know all that stuff. So the idea is that then that can be shared with our audience. So the second part of this video, I'll talk through why I feel I'm qualified to share this information with you. I grew up in a little town in New York where there's more cows than people and the cows are better looking. It's just middle of nowhere. I used to live on a dirt road. My graduating class had 100 people. I was the first person in my family to get a bachelor's degree, the first person to get a master's degree, and the first person to start a couple different businesses. So pretty much throughout my entire life, we were very poor. We didn't have much money. But I'm also thankful for my upbringing because it put a chip on my shoulder and it helped me to work hard because I had something I had to prove to myself and to other people. I decided to go to college. And when I went to college, the admission recruiter told me, hey, you go take this degree, you're gonna get out and you're gonna be making $80,000 a year. Fast forward, when I graduated, I was making $30,000 a year. So I was a little bit disappointed and I felt like I was cheated. But at the same time, I was also a little naive and maybe a little overly optimistic on what was going to truly happen. So from there, I decided to try to find other ways to make money and to be able to grow my wealth. And so I started investing in real estate and made a ton of mistakes, a lot of mistakes. And so I remember a couple of them. One of them was I woke up at 2 a.m. in the morning and I had to go deal with a tenant issue, and this was on my wife's birthday, and actually she was my girlfriend at the time. It was on her birthday. There was about 18 inches of snow. I would have had to spend about 45 minutes unburying my car, and it was negative 10 degrees outside, and I get over there and there's only a little bit of water. It wasn't that bad. So in the beginning, my partner and I did everything ourselves. We just didn't have the money. We're just starting out. So I did stuff like that. Or, I've had it multiple times where tenants have moved out of their apartments and they leave everything there. They turn off their electric. They leave meat in the refrigerator and I had to clean out rancid meat. Oh, it's just horrible. I've had to do a couple of those. And normally my partner, Charlie, ended up doing quite a few more of those because I just did not have the gag reflex to deal with that. We had other times where we end up buying the wrong parts and we'd have to go all the way back to the place because we just bought the wrong part. So we made mistakes like that. We also had to clean out poop out of the basement, like feces, like human feces, because the sewage backed up. And again, because we were doing all this in the beginning by ourselves, we had to do all this work ourselves. We couldn't afford to pay anybody. And so as we kind of grew, one of the things I would tell all of our employees is pretty much every job that you've done or anything I'm asking you to do, I've done at least once, for the most part. So the good news about doing all that is I feel like I really understand how everything works. I would say none of the work is beneath me. I think that's something that I value highly is the hard work. So fast forward a little bit, I'm now in my mid-20s. I would go back to school for my MBA. So on top of doing the real estate, working nights and weekends with the real estate to kind of keep up with all the different repairs that are going on, I then, decided to enroll and do my MBA. So I'm doing more nights and weekends. So while my friends are out partying and having fun, I was studying and working hard and doing all that stuff. It was a bit frustrating, but I learned from that experience. And then the third thing that I really focused on in my mid-20s and up until like today is I read a lot. At a time, I was reading like 100 books a year, which I know sounds kind of crazy, but I love to read, and I was doing audiobooks, a lot of different things. I would say now I'm way back from those high numbers just because being married and having kids, I just don't have the time for that. But I will say I reread stuff, or I read summaries, or I find other ways to learn that same material or to kind of keep up to date on different things. I'm hoping that with all this knowledge I've obtained through creating businesses, reading books, my undergrad and my graduate degree, just different experiences, I'm hoping, and just working, I can share my experience with you, and hopefully, you guys can grow from it. And so with that, I would ask that, you all subscribe, reach out to me if you have questions. I'd love to learn more about your story. So thank you for everything, guys.